It's Brenda Miller, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. I go live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and to share with you some of the things that I'm working on. And so this week's a big week for me. Number one, we had our launch yesterday of our brand new catalog, as well as online exclusives and some specials going on. And also, this is my week for my classes, my in-person classes that I hold, as well as Paper Pumpkin, which is tomorrow night. So, I am running around like a lunatic. So, let's go ahead and take a look at one of the cards that we're going to be making in class this week. Head on over to my desktop. All right. Let me just get set here. Now, this is the card we're going to make. Isn't this just darling? I love, love, love the fact that we can show off some of these gorgeous papers and some little embellishments and just get a beautiful card just using very simple techniques. We will be doing some die cutting, but this new suite is just gorgeous. This is the Bloom Boutique Suite. And the highlight to me of this suite is this designer series paper. So let's take a quick peek at all the different papers. You can see that one side of each, oops, there it is, it has gold foiling on it. So you can see there are pretty colors on the back. These are almost all the colors in here are the new colors. So we've got that. We've got, this is Peaceful Pine. This was Hydrangea Hue. This was Crisp Canteloupe. This is the Golden, let's see if I can get it. Nope, can't figure it out. It'll come to me. But I love this new golden hued one. And then let's see, what haven't we seen? Look at this one. It has lots and lots of gold in it. Using all those same colors again. I just love that, even without the gold in there. Look at this with the hydrangea hue. Isn't that just great? Golden glow. See that? I knew it would come to me. So you can see just how pretty these colors are. Oh, and the background of this is the new blush. I got to get used to it. I got to get used to all the new color names, but that one has blush in it, and that's the background of this. So what I did was I saw this design by this sketch, if you will. There was a card that Melissa Faust did not look like this, but it did look like this, right? And you know how that goes, right? So I just thought that would be a great way to be able to show off some, all the, most of the different papers in this. So this is the bundle, though, that we're using. The suite actually has two different stamp sets in it, two different bundles. This is the one that has the flowers. What I like about this is that it has the detail of the flower, and then it has this background of the flower to give it the color, but it's also one of those distinctive type of stamps, which means that it gives you shading right as you stamp. So some parts will be darker and some parts will be lighter, and it looks really more realistic that way. I tried to use it and I decided not to for this card, but you can see that the leaves and the flowers both come with that. And then not only that, but then we've got the dies that go with it. And these dies have the outline of those flowers that you just saw, the leaves that you just saw. And then it also has detail dies so that you don't even need to stamp. You can just use these as they are, and it has that little detail on the flowers and some of the leaves. So really very versatile. It combines all of my favorite things for a stamp set all in one. So we're going to use that. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're starting off with Crisp Canteloupe as our card base. And I'm just going to fold that in half. And let's see, and this is just regular cardstock. I'm going to take this is the white Willow, and I'm going to put it on the inside of this card. Even though it's a light color, I think it'll really pop more if we have some white on the inside, and we're going to put some white on the outside. Not that I just bought 15 packages of this white Willow cardstock because that's not even going to last me 2 months. That's how much of it I use for my classes and such. So, okay, so now we've got that. And then what I did was I took some designer series paper. You can see this is the reverse side, and of course you could use that if you wanted to. But if you're coming to class, I ask that you use one of each and each of the designs, and then feel free to flip them over if you want. But don't use all the same ones because there won't be enough for everybody. So what I'm going to do is just lay them down. Now these are 4.5 inches. These strips are 4.5 inches by 1/2 an inch. Okay, so I went ahead and cut those down like that, and so that way I can arrange them on the card like so. Now I'm going to use some wet adhesive so that it's a little bit more forgiving. So here we go. Let's see, am I still on camera here? Sometimes I have to use my camera vertically, and then I forget where I am. So here we go. So we've got that one, and hopefully it's straight, and if it's not, I can just nudge it a little bit. And you can put these strips on any way you like, anywhere you like. It will not matter. It's all up to you. Nobody saw the original. You can go out and look at the card from Melissa Faust if you want. I don't know exactly where to tell you to find it. I can't even remember what she used it with. I save a lot of ideas when I see something that I like. I save them to a MS Word document, and then I just gather them, and I try to make sure I acknowledge who made each card, which is very easy because most people will watermark their designs, which is very helpful, not only with the Stampin' Up! Copyright, but also with their name so that I can give credit where credit is due. But I don't, sometimes ideas will sit in my file for a really long time before I decide to use it. So here you go. So you can see I've just got those strips on there, and it makes for a really nice background. The next thing I did is I used one of the Stylish Shapes dies. So this is a square, and I die cut the square out of the two-tone cardstock. Can you see that? We've got the light and the dark. And I'm going to put this on an angle using the light side. And that's how I'm going to be cutting them when I cut them, so that everybody can use it from the light side. You could always flip it over and use it on the dark side if you prefer, on the dark side. Very appropriate. This week was May the 4th. So may the 4th be with you, right? So here we go. Somehow I ended up further across the card. I must have left a little more space than I did on my original. But there you go. You've got that on a diagonal. So now we want to work on our flower, which we have right here. So I did find this easiest. I've stamped it a couple of different ways, and I don't know if it's my eyesight or the stamp and the die, but I found it easiest to die cut it first and then use the ink pad, use the stamp to stamp over it. Okay, I found that to be the easiest way. Now what I chose to do is that's the light side and this is the dark side. Let's see which way I did that. I think I did the light side up. I didn't really mean to, but you can do it either way. And this is one of our new ink pads, right? You've heard me talk about these, but they are the magnetic ones. So they close really easily. They open really easily. That's the key, right? We've all had some struggles with that. And this is the crisp cantaloupe. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to line up right over the top. Now, of course, you could have yeah, I can't see what I'm doing just because I've got the camera in my face, but let's see if I can get it. When I tried to line up the die, I was having a little bit of trouble getting it in the right place. But again, it might just be me. But this worked out a little bit better for me. So you can see that is the crisp cantaloupe. And then I'm going to use garden green. I could have used the peaceful pine, but I chose not to because, and see, I didn't do this in advance, I forgot. I chose not to only because I am using the peaceful pine on a different card. So when I set up my classes, I have stations. And so we want to make sure we have room for that. And I can't use the same color at multiple stations. So I'm going to quick go and cut this out. And I'm going to do the same thing as I just did. Sorry, I'm off camera for a sec. Hopefully I won't lose the dye again like I did the last time. So I'm right here, coming right back. Oh my God, I did it again. All right, here's our die cut. And I'm going to take my garden green, which is still the old design. The new designs will be coming out next year. Hopefully you've heard about that already, where they're going to do a revamp of the colors, a refresh, not a revamp. And they're going to switch all of our ink pads to the new design because they are so much better. So there you go. You can see how easy that was to line up because the block is clear, right? So it makes it that much easier. Okay, so now that we have our flower, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my adhesive at the bottom of the flower for now. And I'm going to take the leaves, and I want to make sure that I can see all 3 leaves. When I was trying to position it, I found it easiest to do it that way. So you can see that it's sealed on the back. And then I'm going to use 2 dimensionals, one over where those 2 connect, just to be sure that they stay safe, and one up here. And again, I am doing 2 layers, if you will, of dimensionals, but I think that's okay. And I'm going to put this covering up this corner. And then I'm going to take one last thing, and that is our banner sayings stamp set. And I'm going to choose one of these sayings. I have "Here's to You" on this block, and I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock, which I have right here. Here we go. And I am going to use the Canteloupe Crisp right here. Crisp Canteloupe. I keep doing that, saying them backwards. It's not a good thing. Gotta get used to it. And I'm going to just stamp it on here, and then I'm going to take the punch and decide which one I want. So I think I'm going to go with this one because it has the flat side. You could also do the long one, and it doesn't really matter which one you do, but I do want to have my arrow on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually turning this over because I want my flag to be on the "you" side as opposed to the "here's" side, if you will. So I line it up and then I punch it out. And that's as easy as it gets, right? Okay, and I'm going to adhere this to the card just using some Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to tuck it under so that you can't see the edge, because I like to cover that up. And there you have it. So now the last thing that we need to do is probably the most fun, right? This is our new in color butterflies. Aren't they beautiful? So hi Betsy, good to see you. Thanks for joining. This is the 2026-2028 in color butterflies, and you can see there are 15 of each size. We've got the 5 different colors plus white. So there are a lot of little butterflies on here. So we're going to take our Take Your Pick tool, which I wanted to use my other one, but okay, must be already on the table. So I'm going to just use my scissors that I have on my desk. Of course, Take Your Pick tool is even better. And we're going to ask that if you're in class that you use a big white one. And then 2 little Cantaloupe Crisp ones. The only thing you have to watch out for is picking up that little glue dot underneath. I did find it a little bit difficult to get it right. So I'm going to put another one. Where did I do that? I did another one down here. And then a little teeny tiny one. Can you see that? Up here. And that just adds that little extra bling. So you've got gold going on here in your 2 of the DSP strips, and you've got the cute little butterflies to go with it. So that is one of the cards that I'm making in my Stamp-A-Stack this week. So Betsy, you'll be there. You'll get to make this. Excited to see you, and anyone else who decides to come. So classes are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And if anybody is interested and you're in the Basking Ridge, New Jersey area, you are welcome to come. Let's see what else. I do want to talk about, if you are in love with the new catalog and the new in colors in particular, you're going to want to look at the current join offer that Stampin' Up! Is offering through the end of May. If you join my team now, you would get your starter kit, which is $99 for $125 worth of supplies, plus all 5 new in colors in ink pads. So that's quite the value. And if you don't want the ink pads, you can also instead just add an amount to your order. I forget what the amount is, maybe $30, something like that, which is also a great bargain. And of course, shipping is free on that. So it's always a great time to join Stampin' Up! And if you're interested in that, you can check out my blog. You can message me, whatever makes sense. All the measurements and everything for this card and all the supplies are found below in the comments or the description of this video. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next Wednesday. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.